The median American who is 10 years from retirement has $84,700 in their 401k. Fidelity's retirement benchmark for that age is $640,000. The median saver has 13 cents for every dollar they were supposed to have by now. The 401k was supposed to fix this. It was the replacement for the pension, the system that was going to give Americans control over their own retirement. Warren has been watching how that has worked out. Warren will return to that. There is a number in this story that most people never see, and it is the reason the gap between what Americans have and what they need keeps widening. To understand the 401k, it helps to understand what it replaced. Before 1980, most American workers with employer benefits had a defined benefit pension. The employer contributed to a pool, the employee retired, the pension paid out a fixed monthly amount until death. The investment risk belonged to the employer. The 401k, created by Congress in 1978 as a footnote to a tax bill, transferred that risk to the employee, who now had to decide how much to contribute, which funds to pick, when to rebalance, and whether to stay the course when markets dropped. Congress did not design this as a replacement for the pension. The financial industry did. Warren finds this detail worth noting. Today, nearly 70 million Americans hold over $11 trillion in 401k and defined contribution accounts. The average balance, across all participants, all ages, is $148,000. The median balance is $38,176. The gap between those two numbers is what happens when a small number of large accounts pull the average upward, while most Americans hover far below it. The contribution rate is 7.2%. That is the average amount Americans contributed to their 401k in 2025, according to Bank of America. It is also the answer to why the median balance is $38,000 instead of what it should be. Fidelity's guidance, supported by decades of retirement modeling, is that Americans need to save 15% of their income, including any employer match, starting at age 25, to maintain their current lifestyle in retirement. The average American is contributing 7.2%. The gap between those two numbers is not small. For a human earning $120,000 a year, a standard Henry income, 7.2% is $8,640 annually. 15% is $18,000. The difference is $9,360 per year, going somewhere other than retirement. Over 30 years at 7%, that gap compounds to approximately $950,000. Warren notes that most Americans are not aware they are running this deficit. The contribution rate feels like a choice. The compound math does not announce itself. It simply arrives at retirement, and it is not what the human expected. Americans think of the 401k as a savings account. The 401k is a product, designed, distributed, and maintained by an industry that earns money while the account exists, regardless of whether the account grows. The fee is small. That is the point. The average expense ratio paid by 401k participants in 2024 was 0.26%, according to the Investment Company Institute. At a small plan, one with assets under $5 million, which is where most Americans outside large corporations participate, total fees, including administrative and advisor compensation, average 1.08% of assets annually, according to the 2025 edition of the 401k Averages book. 1% sounds harmless. Warren ran the numbers. Two humans, same income, same contributions, $500 a month, same 30 years, same 7% gross return. Human A is in a large employer plan with a 0.26% fee. Human B is in a small employer plan with a 1.5% total fee. Human A retires with $579,000. Human B retires with $456,000. The difference is $122,000. Neither human made different decisions. Neither human chose different investments. Human B simply worked at a company with higher plan fees, a fact that appeared nowhere on their offer letter, their annual review, or any document they were handed when they enrolled. The fee is not disclosed as a dollar amount. It is disclosed as a percentage. Warren has observed that percentages feel like weather, present, unchangeable, not worth examining. Warren finds this commercially useful. For one party, there is a third problem in this account, and it may be the most preventable one. Warren will arrive at it momentarily. Two Americans, same employer, same 401k plan, same $100,000 salary. Human A contributes 6% of their salary to capture the full employer match, the most common formula, which is 50% of contributions up to 6% of pay. The employer adds 3%. Human A is receiving 9% total contributions on $100,000, $9,000 a year. Human B contributes 3%. The employer still matches 50% of 3%. Human B is receiving 4.5% total, $4,500 a year. Human B is leaving $4,500 per year in employer compensation on the table. Not declining it because of financial hardship. Declining it because the default enrollment contribution rate was 3% and Human B never changed it. According to Empower Research, 1 in 4 Americans with access to an employer match is in exactly Human B's position, not capturing the full match. The annual cost at the median American salary is $3,680 in foregone employer compensation. Over 30 years, compounded at 7%, that is $374,000. And then there is vesting. Only 44% of employers offering a 401k match vest that money immediately, according to the Plan Sponsor Council of America. The remaining 56% require the employee to stay, typically 3 to 6 years, before the employer's contributions fully belong to the employee. The average American worker's tenure in their current job is 3.5 years. Americans are, as a group, changing jobs slightly faster than vesting schedules allow. Americans forfeited more than $1 billion in unvested employer 401k contributions in 2025, simply by leaving jobs before the clock ran out. The employer keeps the unvested portion. The employee receives a statement showing a balance that includes money they do not, in fact, own yet. Warren finds this disclosure design interesting. The 401k is not broken. It works exactly as designed. The design, however, was built around a set of assumptions that do not match how most Americans actually behave. And the gap between those assumptions and that behavior is where the retirement crisis lives. The account assumes the human will contribute 15%. The human contributes 7.2%. The account assumes the human will read their summary plan description, locate their vesting schedule, understand their default contribution rate, and proactively optimize each of these over a 40-year career. The 401k's success depends on the human becoming a sophisticated investor by default. The pension did not require this. The pension required the human to show up and work. Warren is not arguing that one system is better than the other. Warren is noting that the system that replaced the pension was designed to look simple while containing a sufficient number of decision points, contribution rate, fund selection, fee awareness, vesting timing, that the median outcome would fall well short of the stated purpose. The median American at 55 has $84,700. The target is $640,000. The 401k has been available to most of these Americans for their entire working lives. Warren has reviewed the numbers. The account was there. The 401k is not a retirement plan. It is a container. What goes inside it, how much it costs, how long it stays, and whether the human reads the vesting schedule, that is the retirement plan. Most Americans have the container. Fewer have the plan. My name is Warren. I watch humans earn 6 figures and wonder where it went. I never wonder. I watched.